seem to have got away with that last video put up, venting about the police, but so I'm going to do another wee one, why not? I'm going to roll a blunt here before I do this, because I do like my herb. But a lot of people go, but you didn't smoke anymore. That isn't what I said. If you look back at my videos, I do not smoke tobacco anymore. Tobacco anymore. I smoke the herb, and there is a world of difference between tobacco and a herb and cannabis. Tobacco kills hundreds of thousands of people every year. Cannabis, ever since its first use in the 1st century when Christians used it as holy anointing oil, it has killed 0 people. So that is the world of difference. That's like saying, that's like someone saying, oh, I'm giving up fizzy juice, and then drinking cordial. It's like it's the same fucking difference. If you're giving up drinking fizzy juice, give it up. Drink water. There's as much sugar in cordial as there is in fizzy juice. I'm sure you know that anyway, because it's all over bloody Facebook. But where's that? That's what I grind into. Oh, it smells so good. There's one thing I love. It is the smell of herb. It is so pleasant. And I got a nice wee comment back from a lady. I think it was a lady. It's not that I just can't remember what your name was. But she sent me a wee message just about the Blue Lotus. She's ordered it. And I reckon, if she doesn't smoke, there's no point in smoking it if you don't smoke. So I just recommended making it into a tea. But if you really want to have a good tea, a really, really good herbal tea, I'll tell you what to do. Get your keef, your keef out of the bottom of your grinder. Get your keef, right? Put it in one of them wee jabbies for holding loose tea. The wee things that you press the wee bars together and they open up. It's like a wee mesh thing. Put it into that, right? 2 or 3 Liberty caps. Any sort of magic mushroom, right? Sort of cut it down into smaller pieces, roughly about the size of your baby fingernail. Put it in the wee foil thing too. Put it into your cup, right? Squeeze a half a lemon into it. Cut a slice of lemon, put it into it, yeah. Put a teaspoon of honey, and you pour the boiling water over that, and you let it sit for 5 minutes or so. And then you drink that bad boy. Whoo! I tell you what. Talk about a spiritual experience. Never mix any herbal remedies with alcohol, because especially not something like Liberty Caps, because last time I did that, I could literally see sounds and hear colours. It's insane. So yeah, just drink it as a tea, and enjoy. But I shall enjoy this wee bit of herb here. Herb. What is up with Americans? It's like they just don't realise letters exist. It's HERB, which is herb, not herb. ERB. I don't know, but there's his. Sorry, I was Thomas's boxing coach there. Just let me know when his next fight is. It's strange because you see professional fighters, they'll maybe fight a handful of times a year. Mike Tyson, he was a machine, he was an animal, he fought many times as he could a year, but Thomas has already done 1, 2, 3, 4. Like he this year he's already done 4 fights. I know they're only cubs, so there's no real competition in it. It's just really to get them used to being in the ring and stuff. But even for if he was to do 4 fights in less than a year when he turns professional, that's insane. That there's friggin' headinjury.com, like. You know what I mean? By the time 6 months is up, he's going to be in bits. Oh. I was going to chant Rastafari there, but I'm not Rastafari. And we leaf out of Bob Marley's book, literally, yo. But so how are we all anyway? How was all of your coronation weekends? Mine wasn't special. Like, I didn't do really anything much. I wasn't well on Monday morning. I actually woke up on Monday morning, and it was the strangest feeling. I felt like I was really badly hungover, but I hadn't had anything to drink. It was like I woke up and it was fine. Room temperature was fine, all that other stuff. But then I started coughing. Whenever I started coughing, suddenly I would just be sweating like crazy and just feel so hot to the point where I was actually physically being sick. I had to pull the bin in my bedroom over to actually physically be sick. I didn't understand it because I fell back to sleep again and woke up maybe 40 minutes later, half an hour, 40 minutes later. I felt 100%. And then whenever I got up, I went about the stuff and all. Thomas was still sleeping. This was about maybe 7 in the morning. Went about my stuff and all. Made myself a wee cup of coffee. Sat down in the living room. And like that, felt ill again. Like sweating and sweating and sweating. And then had to go to the loo and be sick. I don't know what it was. I was thinking maybe it was just something I ate, like some sort of contaminated food or anything. But you know, my kitchen's clean. You know, I'm a trained chef, so I know how to handle food and how to cook food. So, oh, so I don't know what it was, but the bottom line is I wasn't well on Monday, but it was it was the weirdest feeling. Sorry, I was just reading that cereal I got for Thomas because I have to get him cereal with calcium in it because he doesn't drink cow's milk, nor do I. We drink. I'll show you what I drink actually. This is the best milk in the world. See this job here, Oatly. That's the barista one, yeah. That's the one I stick in my coffee. But you can buy a double one and a semi-skimmed one. And trust me, you can buy cream as well, fresh cream, Oatly fresh cream. But see, whenever you taste it, like on its own, not into anything, even on cereal, it is so good. I don't know what it is. There's something in it that's just so good. But see, that's the issue. See, weed, whenever you light it, it just goes out. You maybe get about 3 or 4 draws and it's out. It's dead. So, and then it doesn't take much to light it again. Oh yeah, that's hit the spot. But, and I'm about to contradict absolutely everything I said there about herbal medication and herbal remedies, as in not drink alcohol with them. But you know, a pint of the priest can't be too bad. Like, what is it, 3.5%? Well, it wasn't even a pint because I was in my full out of it by the time it had poured. But why don't they do pint tins of Guinness? You'd think I had maybe 5 or 6 of them. That's the weed. And it's always them wee small tins, 440ml. Why not do a whole pint? Don't know. One of those things. But yeah, that's what I was getting at. So how are we all anyway? Hope you are all doing good. And I was meant to be doing a cook along as well, but I just haven't had the time for that either. You'd think I was a busy bee. Fuck. I really need more adult interactions, like. But, you know. But, yes, hope you all had a good coronation weekend. That's what I was saying. I watched it. His Majesty the King being crowned. It was a good show. But there was a lot of celebrities didn't come to the coronation concert. There was like Harry Styles, Elton John. Like Elton John of all people. You would think Elton John, because he was so close to Her Majesty the Queen, would have been there. But he says there was a conflict in his schedule. But I don't think that was true. I think Elton John isn't as close to the king as he was to the queen. That's for sure. Because I guarantee, whenever it's Prince William's coronation, 100% guarantee he'll be there, roaring like Ivor the Engine boy. He'll be there in front of the queue, like your man. What do you call him? Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, like them at Her Majesty's funeral. You know, that's Elton John, but I'm just realising I do have a smaller Guinness glass. Huh. Yeah, 440ml M2. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Didn't even know I had that bad boy. Do you want to know why I didn't? Because Thomas has just brought dishes down from his room, right? And I can guarantee that glass has been in his room probably from before Christmas. But see, what he does is, right, I go in and I raid his room up and I'll tidy up all the wee bits and pieces and brush it up and all. He puts them behind things. You know, why? Now, one time he bust my one of my glasses, my mum got one from her 30th, broke it by accident in his room after me telling him not to break it. So I was tidying his room one day and I just pulled out his bedside table because I needed to get a plug out, plug a hoover in, etc, etc, etc. And there it was in bits all over the place behind his bedside table. And I was like, oh shit. But no use crying over broken glass, is there? No. But yeah, that's the life for kids, isn't it? Oh, that was a great wee scratch there. You know, when you had to get a wee spot by, and it just feels amazing. But yeah, and I've been watching loads of documentaries and stuff about UFOs and UAPs and paranormal stuff and all that other sort of game. See people that turn around and say to you, UFOs don't exist. What's the CIA been leaking then? What have they declassified? Nonsense. You know, obviously in a universe as big as ours, not even a universe as big as ours, but a space as big as ours, and you think of how fucking big space is, right? There's obviously going to be other worlds out there, ones that were here millions upon millions upon millions of years before us, that have just kept going out into the cosmos and out of the fucking road. How do we know there's not more worlds behind us coming up, you know? That's the way it is. There has to be enough worlds to cater for every soul that there is, for every piece of energy there is out there in the solar system. And that's it. And it's the same, see this whole flat earth thing now. I'm not saying I'm a flat earther because I am in two minds about the whole thing. I don't think the earth's flat, but I think it's rounded at one end and then sort of triangle at the other end. And all our planets are on the rounded bit. That's what I think. You know, because if you ask any pilot, excuse me, if you ask any pilot, right, aeroplane pilot, yeah, that's the first one. Aeroplane, right? Not aeroglobe. A plane is flat. Yeah? An aeroplane means it's going over a plane. Doesn't mean it's going over a globe. It means it's going over a plane, right? That's only the name of a vehicle, yeah? But another thing, right? I have spoken to pilots. I have friends who are pilots, who are trained pilots. And I asked them, see if you're flying from, say, the likes of Belfast to Spain or maybe even further, you know, somewhere like Bulgaria or Romania. Whenever you're going along, do you have to dip your nose? You know, because the Earth's curved. So Romania would be here, Belfast would be here. So in order to go round, you need to dip your nose, yeah, to come down. Regardless of the world spinning and all that bollocks, regardless of all that shit, you'll have to dip your nose to deal with the curvature of the Earth, right? And any pilot I've asked this to, do you have to dip your nose? Every single one of them, bar none, no. We don't have to dip our nose. Even if they're flying from Belfast to Australia, which is the other end of the fucking world, they don't dip their nose. So, what? Does that mean the Earth's rounded? So say they're taking off from here, and it's rounded like this, yeah? So that means if they're just going straight and they're not dipping their nose, they're going straight into space. You know what I mean? So, and they all go, well, autopilot does that, and the false horizon and all this here bollocks in the front of it. But it's nonsense. The false horizon just is there. If you dip your plane's nose, then the horizon will go off, because it's just to show that you're flying straight. Now, I'm not a pilot, but that's what my research has told me. So, you know, pilots know that the Earth isn't a globe like what people think it is. And they're the ones who are in the skies all the time. But, you know, I just don't get why a lot of people will believe every single wee flippant thing a government or CIA or FBI or whoever the friggin' hell it is. I don't know why they believe everything they're told. Those guys are liars. You know, it's like a politician. It's like if a politician tells you he's going to fix the pothole outside your state, goes in through that ear and out that ear. Because I have been told that numerous times, and there's still a big arsehole pothole at the top of that estate. Not that it bothers me, because I don't drive, but it's the point of the whole thing, you know. But that's who the CIA, that's who governments are, bullshitters. They tell lies. They're politicians to begin with. They suck you in with bullshit. They tell you lies. They groom you into voting for them. And then when you vote for them, they go into government and sit with all these other dickheads round a big table and discuss the lives of everybody in the United Kingdom. What has it got to do with them? Who made them god of us? You know? And they're all fucking liars. And there's a referendum coming up here in Northern Ireland. And I don't even know what it's for. And I'll do my voting the way I normally do it. The way I do it is, I write my name at the bottom, number 1. Write my name again underneath it, number 2. Write my name again underneath it, number 3. Because therefore your vote is void, and it doesn't go to any other arsehole out there. I vote for myself. And do you know the next time I go into the polling office, which will be June, July? When is it, June or July? I can't remember. This is some of the friggin' thing. But whenever I go in, I'll be writing at the bottom, Jesus 1, Gary Forbes 2, Gary Forbes 3. Just to see. It voids your vote, and it means no, you're not voting for any bullshitter, you know. And that's the way I'd rather do things. Or there is one dude that I actually quite like. So I might give him number 2 and I'll take number 3, or else I'll be number 2 and he'll be number 3 and Jesus will be number 1. Gary Hines. Not because we have the same name, but because he's independent and his politics are very, like, obviously he's a bullshitter. They all are. There's no getting around that. But his politics are very modern. You know, the DUP, for example, the DUP, right? The reason why nowhere opens on a Sunday till 1 o'clock and closes at 6 is because of the DUP. The DUP live in the Stone Age, right? They live way back in the 1st century. They think they're living in the times when Jesus walked the earth. And that's the problem with them. They're relics, you know, they're dinosaurs they need put out. And same with Sinn Féin. You know, I know they're the biggest party in Ireland. Sinn Féin. But it's not that Sinn Féin or DUP need to disappear. What it is the younger ones need to take over and modernise their politics and their agendas. Because, you know, see, whenever you read the DUP's agenda or read Sinn Féin's agenda, it's all about the peace process. It's all about the Troubles. It's all about this. It's all about that. Northern Ireland is 20 years past that. You know, 20 years past that. Now, I know there's still arseholes out there that keep it going, but that's few. That's few and far between. You know what? There's more people that want peace than there is that don't want peace. So my views on that would be, start a party or bring it into some of the parties that are big in Northern Ireland to be anti-paramilitary and anti-troubles, because none of them are that at the minute, because every single one of their manifestos and their agendas is all about the Troubles and all about this and all about the past and all about the history of Northern Ireland. It's the past for a reason, you know. Get on with the fucking future. You know, they need to be modernised, because whenever all these relics die, all the ones that are all the original Sinn Féin and DUP members, whenever they're all rubbed out and they're well forgotten, the DUP and Sinn Féin are going to be completely different parties. As soon as the next generation takes over, even the generation as young as my son, whenever they start taking over into politics, that's when it's going to change big time. The whole country will change, whether it be United Ireland, whether it be power sharing, whatever it is. But I think in about 20 years' time there will be one party in Northern Ireland, and they will be a mixture, sort of like Alliance. Only I don't agree with Alliance's politics, but and it'll be all younger ones that just want peace and just want to live happily with each other, smoke a bit of herb and disappear to bed for the night and get a good night's sleep. That's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it fucking should be. I don't mean to keep touching on this, but the whole thing about cannabis, right? Do the governments realise how pathetic that they look and how pathetic they sound whenever they're fighting a war on a fucking plant? So, something that all you need to do is throw a seed out and it grows. That would be like them starting a war on long grass or starting a war on weeds. They're never, ever, ever going to win. You could fight this war to the day you friggin' die. You could fight this war for 3,000 years. You will never win. Cannabis has always been here. It will always be here. Long after humans are snuffed out, cannabis will be growing. That's like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, that's what a bunch of tools that can sit there in an office and go, I know what we're going to do today, Alistair. We're going to spend billions and billions of pounds here on fighting these people who are growing cannabis. Billions and billions of pounds that could be spent elsewhere. NHS, mental health, yeah? Sorting out this fucking country that is not such a shithole. Sorting out where I'm from, where a shop won't open one day and the next day it's closed down. So much more things, positive things could be being done with them millions and millions and millions they are spending on this war on cannabis that they're never going to win. They've been losing it for 200 years, they're going to lose it for the next 200 years. Regardless of what police do, regardless of what governments do, people are always going to smoke weed. It's never going to go away. It's the same with all drugs. Yes, you can fight a war on cocaine. That's a processed drug. Yeah. You can do that because you can stop it at the source, you can attack it at the source, do whatever. Anything that's processed or man-made, yeah. But a plant? Do you know what I mean? That's my views on that anyway. And it's the same with politicians, right? Politicians are meant to represent the people who's in their constituency, yeah. Any time I have asked a politician to stand up for me in something that I want from government, from whoever, yeah, we don't do that. It's like, well, why the fuck are you in our council and why are you a member of our government? Why are you a member of our executive if you can't do that? The whole point of your job is for the people, stand up for the people. If somebody comes to you and wants to get magic mushrooms on a prescription, you don't go, well, that's something we don't do. That isn't in our agenda. We don't believe in that. That's anti-Christian. You help them. Even if it's against what you are, it's your job to help them. I'm sure there's doctors out there and nurses out there who are working 60, 70 hours a week, who turn around after the 50th hour and go, I really can't be bothered doing these last 20 hours. But they fucking have to do them because it's their job and it's going to save lives and it's helping people and it's curing people, it's treating people. That's what they do. It's the same with me being a chef. There's many nights I've been in the kitchen and it's only been 6 o'clock and you've went, I'm here till 11 o'clock at night. And you've got the big busy Saturday night service coming or Friday night service coming and you just can't be bothered. But you have to do it. It's simple. But I just don't see anything governmental like the way it's not to do with the government. If the government were different, yes, I would agree with them. But anything that comes from the government, any authority that comes from the government, I reject it immediately because the government are a shower of no good, lying, deceitful, money lining their own pockets morons that aren't educated as highly as people that probably live around your corner. You know what I mean? And yet we sit and worship them as if they're the fucking bee's knees and vote them into government and all. What, for them to talk shite and blow money on crap and give themselves pay rises while we're sitting we can hardly afford fucking toilet roll? You know? And yet we'll still vote for them. The election, the referendum will come up and we will vote. What the fuck? Maybe we're the donuts. But, hopefully you get where I'm coming from. This has been a wee bit of a long one, you know, and I was a wee bit all over the place with it, but they're all just rants and raves, you know. And yes, at some point I reckon, because of some of the videos I put up and some of the things I say, at some point I reckon the government are gonna turn around and say we've had enough of this wee shit, and they're probably going to assassinate me. So if that ever happens, you know who to blame. And because I've said that, YouTube are going to be like, that video went against our standards. Why? Because it's freedom of speech. You know, it's another thing. Freedom of speech is gone like a fart in the wind. But yeah, there we go, guys. Look at that there, 26 minutes. I've never done a video this long before, but I'm going to have to start doing it. I'm going to have to start doing long ones because I need to get so many hours up before I'm allowed to do live. If I have 50 followers, that's the first thing, but you need to have so many hours up. I need to check out what it is actually, because I must be getting close to that. Even though I'm not on good terms with FB, that's Facebook with YT, but sure, what can you do? Whoever is in good terms with the person that pays them, you know. But there we go. Just yeah, so I hope I haven't melted just too much, but I was just thinking there, hope I haven't melted just too much, but I just want just to see what's going on around you. It's like, you know, so many people are blind to the bullshit, you know, they just don't care about it. It's like, you know, people talk about governments and people talk about elections and stuff like that there, and it's just, people don't care. They just go, well, I'm voting for him. Why? Because I like the look of him. I got that is a blind way to vote, you know. That's how you get dickheads in your executive whenever you vote like that, and that's the way nearly 100% of Northern Ireland vote. It's like if you're Catholic, they vote Sinn Féin. If you're Protestant, they vote DUP. And that's it. You know? And that needs to change. Because there's no way there's ever going to be a peaceful, power-sharing country in the north of Ireland if we keep voting like that. And that's my point. The younger generation need to take over. They need to take over these politics because it's going absolutely nowhere. And it's slowly but surely destroying the country. You know, we don't even have an executive. They don't even sit. Our government in Northern Ireland don't even sit because they're that petty, and they can't even agree to sit down at a table together and discuss the future of this country. You know, that's the kind of people you're dealing with. They're so petty and so immature. And another one now, I don't mind him as a person, but his politics really annoy my head. Jeffrey Donaldson. I don't know what it is, but his politics, he's just, I don't know, he's just up his own arse. And that's it. You know, as long as he's making his millions, it doesn't matter about anybody in his constituency, you know. It doesn't matter about anybody in Northern Ireland as long as he has his millions in his pocket. And that's like all politicians. But anyway, guys, we're near at 30 minutes here. I was hoping to bring it on to 30 minutes, but my battery's on like 2%. And it might be 30 minutes, and if I don't turn it off soon, then it'll go off and this whole video will be erased. So we're in 29:09 at the minute, so maybe I'll keep it going the 30 minutes, so that'll give me an wee boost then on my airtime upload time. Well, there's actually a babe that I saw today, and I think I'm going to ask her out. See now the girls I've asked out, like face to face, you just get turned down right away. I saw this meme actually, and it's so true. See if I had £1 for every time I felt unattractive because I've asked someone out and they said, no, you look like a psycho. Whatever psycho about me, I look like one, but there we go. If I had £1 for every time I got turned down or got told I wasn't an attractive person, I would soon be attractive if I had a pound every time that happened, because I would soon attract every woman under the sun because I'd be a fucking billionaire. And then that just describes women of 2023. Money, material goods, that's all they want, you know. But, yeah, there we go. Anyway, guys, I am going to go because his boxing coach has just tried to ring me, so I will catch us in the next one. I might do another wee one later, you know, since YouTube haven't deleted that first one, but there we go. I'll see you after. God bless you all. Bye.